Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to my segment. It's the first of 6 that I'll be presenting on being able to develop a child's ability to understand and tell stories, which is really important for school success and school in life. Books bring knowledge, and knowledge is power. Books also bring a love for the imagination, and I think with imagination, our thinking can take us wherever we want it to go. So children start to develop the capacity to tell a story around the age of 2.5 to 3 years of age. And that's what we call a descriptive sequence. And it's mainly concerned with understanding that there's a character in a book and a setting. You'll remember Brady, developed by Mary Ellen Monroe in the United States. And Brady has a head, which represents, as I said, the character, which can be a person, object, or thing, and a setting, which is represented by the star. And we're just going to concern ourselves with these two elements today of what we call a descriptive sequence, as I said, around 2.5 to 3 years of age. And we do a lot of work at this level of story development within the clinic. And we'll often use 3D props to go with the story to highlight the characters, and we'll often make the setting as well. And we use props because that sustains a child's attention at this age and it gets them engaged. A lot of parents will say to me, my child is not interested in sitting and listening to books at this age. And I say it's either because they're not understanding, the book is too high level for them, or it's not enticing enough. And so that's why children at this age love the touch and feel books and the flat books, because they can engage with it. And finding props that go with the books around the house is a really good idea to keep them engaged. And it helps because they're learning through all modalities. They're learning through not just hearing, seeing, they're touching, they're smelling objects that go with the book. So it's a very rich learning experience for the child. So Dear Zoo is going to be the example that I'm highlighting today. How did we develop character from using a book such as Dear Zoo? Well, just take the example of the lion in the book. We made various puppets and crafts using the lion, and we talked about the lion being smelly, hairy, large, wild, with whiskers. He was dangerous. He lived in Africa. He was loud. He had sharp teeth, a mane, and he was scary. So children learnt the characteristics of the lion and all of the rich vocabulary that would go with describing a lion, for example. We also made one for zebra and the dog in the book as well. So you can pick one character, or you can make all the characters in the book. It's whatever your child's interested in and whatever you've got available to you around the home. But this really made it salient that there were characters in the book, and the character has certain characteristics that we can talk about. Similarly, we explored the setting. And for the setting, we made the zoo. And here we could talk about the animals that lived in the zoo, in the setting, the where. And we talked about them. It was a lovely language-rich experience because we talked about them living behind the cages or the bars. They could walk through the bars. They could go in their cages. They could come out. They could stand next to their cages. So they were learning all those position words, and they were learning all the vocabulary around the setting, such as bars, as I said, cages, enclosure, and the things that the zookeepers might put within the enclosure to feed the animals as well. So again, building up all that vocabulary that is necessary to be a competent talker, but also a competent reader, because vocabulary is the strong predictor of reading success at school, reading and writing success. So we want to start building children's vocabulary at a very young age, and doing that through books. Multisensory learning is a very powerful tool for your child. The other thing I'd just like to say, and it's something that we don't get through technology, through children staring at a screen, whether it be an iPad, TV, or phone, they're not getting these rich experiences such as being able to use their fine motor skills, using their imagination, creativity, problem solving when they're doing activities like this, as well as the turn taking, the social skills they're learning with waiting, taking it in turns, practicing using their language in different ways when they're engaged in these activities. They're not getting that through technology. So that's why I really push books. I think it's a very powerful learning tool for children at all areas of, and stages of their life. Now, at this stage, the descriptive sequence, 2.5 to 3 years of age, what sort of books would be appropriate, you might ask? Simple books that feature one or 2 or 3 salient characters, such as you'd get through Brown Bear, your Spot books, Green Sheep, focus on one character, the green sheep, who has various characteristics as he goes through the book. This is a lovely book, Whoever You Are. It's about different characters and the changing characteristics they have depending on where they live in the world. So that's really nice, and it goes through the setting, the different houses they might live in, depending on where they live in the world. So don't go and buy expensive books, $15 each. Go to something like Savers, where they're about 50 cents to $1 each. You can pick up 10 or 15, put them in the stockings for Christmas, and you get a range of books at this level of language development where you can really be exploring the character and the setting at this descriptive sequence level of language development. What props would you use around the home? Well, you're only limited by your own imagination. Collect your toilet rolls, collect your cereal boxes, your paper plates, old gloves, old shampoo bottles, tinsel, whatever. Characters and settings can be made from anything. Play-Doh, for example. Now, there's a number of take-home messages. I guess what we're really trying to promote to children at a very young age is books are fun. Books are fun, and we're learning at the same time. Go simple, add props to engage a child. If the child is particularly interested in one page or one character, go with that, because children will learn what's on their mind, not what's on your mind. So don't be afraid to vary from the script. You might not finish the book. You might be exploring one aspect of the book, and that's still a very rich learning experience. Use hands-on activities to build understanding of words. As I said, the multisensory learning. And learning in a two-way interaction is a very powerful thing, because they're learning not only language skills, they're learning good social skills, which they'll need to be effective as a friend, but effective as a learner when they go to school. So I hope I've inspired you to go away and pick up the books and have as much fun as you can with them. I like this quote: "A book is like a garden carried in the pocket." And for me, what that says is we're only limited by our own imagination. Books are a gateway to imagination. Books are a gateway to a whole new world. Books are a gateway to a back garden that we can just, within the story, explore. And books give us knowledge, and knowledge is power. And I don't think we can ever start too early with that. So thank you once again for watching this first segment, and what I'm going to be doing at the second segment is talking about the next component of a story and what age that would pertain to. Be kind to yourself, guys. Be kind to each other. Have a great day, and I'll see you next time. Thank you.